Hi, I'm Kim. I live with functional neurological disorder, and I am the founder of Not Defined by FND. To make things easier for both of us, some of our supporters have volunteered to assist me in telling my story and introducing Not Defined by FND.
The voices in this video are voices of FND warriors and supporters of FND warriors.
Functional neurological disorder is a problem with the communication system between the brain and the body. It's a problem with the functioning of the nervous system, and the nervous system touches every part of our bodies, which is partly why the symptoms vary so much.
I personally experience a lot of the more common symptoms of FND. Other than the obvious speech and movement issues, I also have non-epileptic seizures. I usually do not feel them coming, so they tend to come with a lot of falls.
I also have a loss of sensation on my left side. Originally, it was both sensation and mobility. I cannot feel my left leg at all, but the sensation has been slowly, actually very slowly, coming back in my arm. The speech issue started in November, and I've had various other symptoms, but those are the ones that affect me most.
FND has been around for a long time, and there is a lot of stigma attached to it. Not many people have heard of FND, but many people have heard of its previous names: conversion disorder or hysteria, among others.
Because there is no obvious structural damage that shows on the typical tests that doctors use to diagnose more common disorders or diseases, it was previously thought to be caused by psychological traumas.
But recent research has shifted this perspective, which is why they have updated the name. There is research showing actual brain differences in FND patients. Research is showing that psychological trauma is not, in fact, a factor in many FND patients' backgrounds.
For some, psychological issues are a factor, but others develop FND after a simple flu. And others seem to have no apparent reason for the sudden development of FND. There are so many different stories.
What was your life like before FND?
I was an Energizer bunny, always going. My typical day started with a 2+ mile walk on the beach before going to work for 10 to 12 hours a day. When I wasn't working, I loved to cook and bake, and I loved being in nature and finding walking trails. I enjoyed making people laugh and was a positive and optimistic woman, always smiling. I'm known as Mama Kim by many because of my caring nature.
What was the journey like to receive the FND diagnosis?
A lot of tests. A lot of everything looks normal. I saw a lot of doctors, multiple trips to the ER. I got a lot of possible diagnoses. I was told that it was all in my head. I was told I was faking it. A lot of frustrations and disappointments. According to the tests, I'm a perfectly healthy woman. But then, when you look at me, you can clearly see that something is going on.
What has your life been like since being diagnosed?
It has been an interesting journey, that's for sure. It's never a dull moment. Sometimes I feel I'm just like I'm on a roller coaster and hanging on for the ride. That's where the idea for the logo came from. I think anyone who lives with FND will agree that one of the most frustrating things about FND is the inconsistency. Your symptoms can change by the day or sometimes throughout the day. What helps you one day might not help you the next day.
The other super frustrating thing has been trying to get help and figure out what to do from here. Normally when we get sick, we turn to doctors for help and guidance of what to do, right? Well, in this case, I think the doctors just don't know what to do. It is said that cognitive behavioral therapy is the most effective treatment method. I have been going to therapy for over a year, but continue to have symptoms and have had additional symptoms since starting, but I have done my best to adapt.
What inspired Not Defined by FND?
Aside from my own personal challenges, what really motivated me to take the bold step of starting this organization was the recognition of the vast number of people facing the same struggles as me. Every day, people with FND are battling to accomplish simple tasks with no support system to turn to for assistance. They endure endless doctor's visits that only lead to more frustration. Desperately seeking validation and understanding, the lack of effective treatments and resources adds to their distress, while the stigma surrounding FND even further adds to the distress and frustration.
I've met some awesome people from all over the world through online support groups and other resources that I've discovered in my own obsession to find information about and understand FND.
More and more people are being diagnosed with FND. Yet where is the research being done? Where are the treatments for us? Where are the medical professionals that are actually familiar and trained in the FND specific techniques that we can access and afford? Yes, there are programs available, but many of us cannot afford them or cannot access them, not to mention waiting lists and statistics on their effectiveness.
FND is a real disorder affecting real people in real life all over the world. Yet there is a lack of support available to us or even knowledge about it.
The truth is, FND is not well understood. That fact is understandable. What's not okay is the lack of effort to learn more and the disregard for those of us dealing with FND every day. What's not okay is the lack of research, especially when so many of us with FND are eager to take part in studies if given the chance. And we, along with the support of others, are determined to make some changes.
An introduction to Not Defined by FND.
Who are we?
Not Defined by FND aims to end stigma and bring awareness, advocate for research, treatments and resources, and create conversations to bring needed changes and hope for all FND warriors.
We believe that no one should be defined by their illness.
And through education and collaboration, we can make a lasting impact on the lives of those affected by FND.
Some of our goals include
Making FND medical alert products available.
Collaborating to create an FND booklet to distribute and make widely available throughout communities.
Advocating for the inclusion of FND in university curricula across all fields impacted by the disorder.
Advocating for research. Research. Did I mention research?
FND warrior support activities and resources.
And much more.
We are excited to begin implementing our ideas and are eager to start making much needed changes for the FND community. Join us on our mission to advocate for awareness, research, treatments, and resources for the FND community.
Not Defined by FND is a nonprofit organization in the process of obtaining federal and state tax exempt status. The deductibility of any donations to Not Defined by FND is subject to having its application for tax exemption approved. Thank you for your understanding and patience as we work through this process.